First, there was Blood of the Jedi. Now, there is another. A sequel, or what I like to call Saving Skywalker. That's not the title, just a working description. First, if you haven't seen Blood of the Jedi, use the force necessary to press the link and get caught up. Assuming you're up to speed, let's continue our journey to save Skywalker. We know from Blood of the Jedi that Luke had adventures beyond Return of the Jedi, and it's safe to say that in that time, Han wouldn't be the only one who ended up with a price on his head. Ultimately, Luke earned a price as well. But from who? It's easy to assume it came from the Empire or the later First Order, but no, it came from the Hutts. Luke did, after all, organize and execute the rescue plan that not only reclaimed Jabba's prized centerpiece, a carbonite-frozen Solo, but resulted in the death of Jabba himself, a result that the rest of the Hutt family was none too pleased with. The plan was all too familiar. Leak the news that Luke's friends were in danger, similar to the idea the Empire tried in The Empire Strikes Back, and with all luck, Luke would come to the rescue. And he does. Luke's no fool, though. He has been through this before, so he's prepared for almost anything. But even the best Jedi can find themselves in an overwhelming situation. The Hutts have hired an army to take down the young Jedi, and with considerable effort, they do. The plan was never to kill Luke, because if you strike him down, he will become more powerful than you can imagine. No, the plan was to replace the frozen Solo with the next best thing, the frozen Jedi that freed Solo in the first place. As the Hutts prep to freeze Luke, he makes preparations of his own. He calms his body. He focuses his mind on a place far from his current situation. As he enters a deep meditative state, the Hutts throw the switch, and in the moment the carbonite hits his body, Luke astral projects himself to the place he focused on in his meditation. His eyes suddenly spring open, and he finds himself home. Confused and disoriented by what he perceives as a vision of things to come, he sets out on a new journey. His goal? To protect his friends and family by disappearing completely. As we see in the most recent trilogy, Luke can't stay hidden forever, and he's called back into battle again, this time to aid Rey and her friends against the First Order. A battle that ultimately leads to what we, and even he, presumes is his demise. Never aware of his actual situation, Luke astral projects himself to face Kylo Ren in battle. Upon beating Kylo Ren, he's exhausted himself, and he fades away, becoming a Force ghost. As Rey ultimately makes her way to what once was Luke's home on Tatooine so she can start anew, Luke and Leia's ghost watch with smiles on their faces. Luke watches over Rey for a while as she settles in. He continues to help her strengthen her connection with the Force until he feels she is prepared for what might lie ahead. After saying his goodbyes, Luke turns to join his sister at rest, but as he attempts to join her, she stops him and simply says, "You're their only hope." With a kiss on his cheek for luck, she sends a confused Luke towards his destiny, and he fades from view again. Just as a handful of First Order rebels storm the Skywalker home looking for Rey, after a substantial battle, Rey has had enough and decides that the only way that anyone can ever be safe is if all traces of the First Order are wiped from the galaxy permanently. Not a surprise, since she has already begun her journey down the dark path. We've seen a glimpse of what she may become in Rise of Skywalker. With Luke's Force ghost absent from her life for the first time, Rey feels isolated and disconnected from the light. She follows her instincts as her anger starts to cloud her judgment. She sets out to build an army of her own and strike down the last of the First Order. On the other side of the galaxy, Luke's son continues his journey to locate and save his father, despite others constantly telling him that he is already gone. They tell him stories of the battle that took Luke's life and how he helped save the rebellion. But none of this discourages his son from his search. In fact, in many ways it, and the information from a reliable source that the Hutts may have Luke, fuels his son's drive to find his father. The rescue plan is pretty straightforward. Find a ship with onboard carbonite freezing capabilities, say something that we might have seen somewhere in the galaxy before. Steal some First Order uniforms, and show up at the Hutt's door looking to confirm rumors that Skywalker may actually be alive and in their possession. If it turns out that they do have the Jedi, grab him and make a run for it. If not, continue the search for Skywalker. All the while, Rey continues her attempts to build an army and hunt down what's left of the First Order. Finding it hard to convert her friends and fellow rebels to her newfound purpose, Rey finally does the unthinkable. She builds her army from the Snoke clones her grandfather left scattered throughout the galaxy. In closing, if you're thinking, wait, what a horrible place to leave off, I'll remind you, it is always darkest before the light. Stay tuned to see where this all leads. Until then, may the Force be with you.